Susan Karke. I'm from Nepal. I applied from Nepal in my doctoral degree in engineering field.
My name is Rahma Marzouki. I'm from Tunisia. I'm 23 years old, and I applied for a master's degree in computer science and engineering.
My name is Miria. I'm 23 years old from Bulgaria, and I'm studying business administration, majoring in marketing, and I applied through the embassy track.
My name is Dung Minh. I'm from Vietnam. I'm studying the master degrees in SNU, and my field is medical. And my specific field is internal medicine.
I'm Lada, and I'm from Russia, and I'm GKS Scholar master's degree this year, and my faculty is music, solo singing, emagdehak.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you found out about the GKS scholarship?
Well, actually, I found out about GKS scholarship through the embassy post on Facebook, but it was back in 2022. Back then, I didn't know there was actually a scholarship to study in Korea. So that was the way I found out about it. And then I read the comments, and turns out there's a group chat. So I joined them. And that's how I got to know more stuff about the scholarship process.
How I came to know about GKS is through my supervisor. Because I actually work in academic sector. I used to work in academic sector. So I used to teach engineering to bachelors. So simultaneously I also worked in a project, and under my supervisor who guided me in my graduate, he told me about these scholarships, about GKS, the MEXT, which is in Japan, the Chevening, the Fulbright in US. He told me about those scholarships, and I started applying them. So yeah, and through him I got to know about this GKS, and I applied to it through the embassy track.
For me, it was kind of a natural process because I got a bachelor's degree in Korean studies. So right from the start, I kind of knew about the scholarship because we were very involved with the embassy and like all kinds of cultural activities connected with Korea. So yes, I've been wanting to apply for like 5 years. Yeah.
In my country, there's a lot of group about GKS student, and they already have their scholarship before. And also, I saw lots of information in the website studyinkorea.com, and I are looking for the information in that website and prepare the documents for the GKS.
That's really a long story because I heard about the GKS first time when 5 years ago I decided to go to Korea on a trip, and I was literally searching on Instagram for the travel bloggers, and I found one, and she was pretty good as a person, and I decided to know her better, and then I knew that she is a GKS scholar. She won the scholarship I guess 7 years ago. It was a bachelor's. Yeah, and I was interested in it, and that's why a couple years after that moment, I decided to go to Korea on GKS too.
In my country, Tunisia, we actually do not have a university track. Yeah, we only have embassy track, so that was the only option. The process was a little bit complicated at first, which is why it took me around a year to actually understand the process really well. The embassy track, you would have to prepare 4 folders, 1 folder of original copies and 3 copies of that folder, which is insanely complicated. If you have a lot of certificates and a lot of documents, it's gonna take a lot of time for you to actually organize it in a good way. But I think the most important part of applying for GKS was the essays.
About my decisions, I think I would be better to go in the embassy track because I already have time to think about which track should I apply. And I figured it out, embassy track, we can have 3 options in 3 different universities. And also, in the university track, I have to have to competitive with the others student in others country, and we don't know their CV, so it's gonna be really risky if I'm following the university track. So this is one of my strategies to get a GKS.
I chose the embassy track because you can apply to 3 universities, so there's a better chance to get accepted. And I wouldn't say I had a particular university that I wanted to apply to. I knew that I wanted to prioritize the Sky universities. So the 3 universities I applied to were Seoul-dae, Korea University, and Tonga University in Busan. And actually, last year I applied as well, but unfortunately I didn't get accepted. It was the embassy track as well. I got through first round and second round, but on the third one, me and about 50 other people, didn't get accepted into any of the universities. Oh, wow. Yeah, thankfully this year I got accepted into all of them, and I came here to Sorte.
I applied to the university track because I have a specific major. Because it's the solo scene, I understood that if I apply for is it government? Embassy track, it won't be possible for me to study there. Because the only case for me was to, be in the hearts of my professors. So that's why I decided to go on the university track, because it's only 2 rounds, and the first round is then you directly apply documents to the university, and professors, they see you. And the other thing is that on the music college, we have portfolio. So it's not just the documents and personal statement and all, you have competitions, all these diplomas and everything, you have a portfolio. And we have a strict things what we should record. And that's why I decided that the only choice for me as a music, opera singer, is to apply for the university track.
You said that you applied through the embassy track. Can you just explain a little bit about the amount of applicants that they accept from Nepal and what that process is like?
Sure. In Nepal, we have in total of 12 applicants. That is 8 from the embassy track and 4 from the university track. That's for the graduate. 10 of them applied in the embassy track, and we had the interview at the same day. Okay. So at 15 minutes interval, we had our interview. And among them, from my knowledge, 9 people got selected. Oh, okay. 8 was the applicant and 1 the reserve, in case anyone drops out. So, but what happened is the NIED selected all 9 of them. Okay. So all 9 of them are selected, but eventually 1 person dropped out. So eventually the people coming in Korea through embassy track is 8, and through university track is 4. So in total, 12 of us came together.
How many applicants do they accept on the embassy track?
I'm not exactly sure. I know there's about 1,000-something applicants total from embassy and university track. I just know that about the 50 applicants, I was saying that's the people that got to first and second round and didn't get accepted into any of the universities. So that should be something you have to look out for. You gotta go for universities that you will have a chance of getting accepted, at least one university.
Can you talk about the application process and what part you found the most difficult about the entire process?
One of the most difficult in my process is I can barely not speaking English in the past. So it took me maybe a few months to studying English, and also you guys already know that in the embassy interview, we have to choose English or Korean to interview with them. But the problem is I don't know both. So yeah, that is one of the biggest barrier for me.
In our country, I think it's the same for all countries. You have to submit your identification documents, like your passports, your birth certificates. Like you have to show that you have never been to Korea or never lived in Korea.
Oh, wow.
So like because if you have like if you are a resident of Korea or if your parents is the resident of Korea, like you can apply for the scholarship. So in order to verify that, you have to show your birth certificate, like you were born in the country, and you have to show the birth certificate of your parents.
Right.
So the difficult aspect apart from the essays is getting the documentation in the first place, because it's a lot of hassle to get the auth signed from different governmental sectors, because you have to go through different governmental sectors before submitting it to the embassy.
Regarding the application, I would say having language certificates is quite important, and also doing volunteer work and cultural events connected to Korea, being active in that sense, because from my experience applying 2 years in a row, the first year my application was very rushed, so I didn't get to get my IELTS and my topic and include some of my certificates, which I did the second year, and I got accepted even in this school. So yeah, that is of a big help. And also know that although the application is hard, this is not the last challenge. This is just the first part.
Actually, I took a whole year to write my essays, and I'm not even exaggerating. And it was really funny because I used to think my personal statement needs to be really original and unique. So whenever I was watching a movie, listening to a song, and I hear something, I'm like, oh, this can sound really nice in the essay. This is interesting. This is attractive. So my goal was to write something that is truly, attractive from like the first sentence to the last one. So I took a lot of time to write my personal statement. And for the study plan, it's difficult because the same essay will be sent to the same universities, and especially for me, since my major is computer engineering, it really depends on what you want to do. So my approach was writing something really detailed. So my study plan, it was really detailed. So I had like, this is what I want to do. This is objective. And this is why I want to do that. Like the background of why I want to do that from the first place, and what I'm willing to do with that in the future. So you need to give them the idea that you know what you're gonna do, because they love that. So that was the study plan is like a detailed plan. Like that's it. It doesn't have to be something poetic. But the personal statement, that's your personal touch. So it needs to be something really beautiful.
Lastly, do you have any tips for future applicants to the GKS scholarship? Or maybe is there particular individuals you think should not apply to the GKS scholarship?
So I mentioned it before, if you have some specific faculty and like singing, dancing, maybe some fine arts, because they have portfolios too, do the university track. If professors will fall in love with you and with your work, they will do everything. So to give you opportunity to study in the university, and you will be able to have a GKS scholar. So it really works. I thought that I will apply for the GKS scholarship for maybe 3 or 4 years in a row, but I won it from the first time. And it's really strange for me. I can't even believe it right now. But you can do that.
During the language year, it's very nice to at least be able to read in Korean when you come here. It would be very helpful. And if your major is in Korean, it is going to be a bit hard for you, but of course you can do it. I think everyone could apply for JKS, but you have to keep in mind that there's some restrictions, like you can't work here, you have to attend classes regularly, you have to be studying very diligently, And also, for instance, something that's been hard for me is like living with a roommate because I've never done that. Although the person I live with is great, it's still a challenge for most of us. And being in a new country where you don't fluently speak the language can be hard at times. But if you're resilient and you really want it, you can do it.
I think it's really important to be in a good mental state. And by that, I mean being ready to have no support system, because even if you do have friends here, it's really different than having your own family and everything. So it's really important that you are ready to be lonely sometimes and to deal with some issues, and you don't know what could happen. So I think mental health is really, really important.
That's a very valid point that I think a lot of people don't think about. It is really essential to your success while completing the GKS program. I'm really happy that you brought that up. It is very important.
The future applicants, I would say, like for people who see their future, who see their career in Korea, this place is a hub. You can come here. Like GKS is the best get into the Korea because you get to learn the language while doing your graduate. So that'll be like, if you want to make a career in Korea, this is the best option. But like if you plan to just like, okay, I'll study and I'll get out, it is okay because like the education of Korea is known in everywhere, so you'll get a job everywhere. But spending like 4-5 years or like 3 years in Korea learning the language, getting used to this environment, and then suddenly moving out, that will be, and moving out and getting used to like another environment, that'll be a little hard. So for a graduate, I won't speak for the undergraduate, but for as a graduate student, if you plan to apply for the GKS, it's the best option if you plan to make a career in Korea itself. So yeah, that's what I'd like to say. And regarding application, as I said before, it would be like, if you plan to apply for the GKS, it would be better like starting from the time you make your applications, like learn a little about the culture, learn a little about the language, because that will definitely be a big barrier.
There anything, last things that you want to share before we say goodbye?
So, yeah, for anyone who's been rejected previous years, I want to tell you, don't give up. You can get accepted, and you will get accepted if you try hard enough.
Don't be scared if you are not going to be a GK scholar from the first time. You just work. If you're not going to be a GK scholar, it's not the end of the world. You can try the next year and the next couple of years, because the masters, you can take it till you're 40 years old.
I just want to say good luck and see you in Korea.